Hello, dear listeners. We are a team of interviewers. Our team consists of talented and future professional specialists. We hope that this interview will bring you a lot of knowledge and impressions. So, let's get started. Our interview involved various participants, whom you will meet later. To begin with, we decided to ask MPSU students whether they are familiar with colonialism and post-colonialism, and they happily agreed to share their experience.
Hello, Soko. Nice to meet you. We're very glad that you came to our interview. So we would like to ask you just a little bit questions about African colonization. So what do you think about this concept of post-colonial studies in nowadays culture, for example, books and TV programs and so on?
Okay, first of all, thanks for having me. And I would really like to attend this kind of interview because I've come across a couple of books and TV shows on the Channel Plus and IVY and so on. So it was really interesting topic for me. And I watched a couple of series and stuff. So
that's great that you're familiar with this concept of post-colonial studies. What impact do you think these post-colonial studies and former of post-colonial countries have this impact on Western culture? What impact?
So it seems to me that post-colonial countries have a lot of impact on the Western countries, that it has been part of the England and French colonization, and it was really diverse and all the cultures and everything were mixed up. And also I recently watched the movie called The Servant. It was really good movie and shows that part of the situation in America in the 60s and all the problems and that human rights issues and issues were shown really good. And also recent years there is this cultural diverse of colored skin people, of this music genres and the fashion and stuff. And for example, a lot of models are coming out these days. And for example, I would like to mention some of the rappers that the colored skin, that the Kanye West and Kendrick Lamar and a lot of biggest fashion house designers are mostly colored skin these days, and they are supporting each other, is that they can diverse, that they are doing it so that the younger generation can also do it, that it's not only about the white people or the Asian people, but also the colored skin people can make it, so you can make it that they support each other, and all the mixture of this culture and their culture and Western culture is mixing up is really diverse.
So, what associations with the African culture do you have in your image?
As for me, the Africa is really big continent, that they have a lot of other different parts. There's these cities that well built and well developed that I've seen pictures and from the movies, but there's this also other parts that has not socialized yet, and for me they're a little bit maybe aggressive, and there's maybe a little bit less culture than the other parts of the world. So I think they just have to socialize more and develop more, and there's this also some cultural changes. We also have a lot of learn from them. They also have to learn from a lot of different cultures. So I guess, yeah, I think they're maybe a little bit late developing and maybe late adopting the social cultures.
One last question. So, what do you think, what lesson would our civilization can have from this colonial and post-colonial history?
For me, we gotta learn from what have happened in the past. We gotta learn from our history. It was in the past, gladly, but we have never could repeat it in the future or the present time. Maybe that's why there's this movement of this Black Lives Matter that's spreading really loud, and it is good, but there is sometimes after this movement, there's a little bit of aggressiveness and mess around social, so this could end up a little bit big social issues. So we gotta study from the past and adapt it to the future and give it to our future generations, like softly, that we could never repeat our mistake again, but like make it gently and respect each other's culture and respect each other's social life and adapt and learn from each other. So thank you very much. Thank you.
Hello, Julia.
Hello, Lisa.
Thank you for agreeing to give us a short comment. Could you please tell us where you study and what is your specialty?
Yes, of course. Firstly, thank you that you invited me into your project. And secondly, I can say that I'm a student of MPSU in linguistics specialty.
Thank you, Julia. We are interested in the question. Have you ever come across with the definition colonialism and post-colonialism?
So yes, it was a part of my education on the third year of my education, and it is a really interesting question to discuss.
Okay, great. So can you please tell us the definition? What is colonialism?
So firstly, colonialism is a process and just the system where one country are trying to be dominant in our country in political or territorial views, and how this process is given the result of domination.
Okay, you are right. And what is, in your understanding, the definition of post-colonialism?
As for me, post-colonialism is the way or the result how these countries, what was colonized by in our countries, is developing, and what influence we got after some processing of these colonialism views.
You're absolutely right. It would be great if you can say us any example which shows the consequences of colonialism.
The great example what I could remember right now is the great example what I can remember right now is, I think, Robinson Crusoe by Defoe. I love how this colonialism is working on the Robinson and Friday, and how he gave some attitudes from his own country into another person in different color skin or etc. stuff, some differences, and how a white person just make some little slave for himself by Friday.
Okay, thank you very much for this example. I absolutely agree. Last question for you. What lessons can people learn from the history of colonialism?
Firstly, that we should respect each other and respect no matter what country are you from and what you have a color skin. So we have to work together, not as a leader or a slave, just a one system, one organization for just compare some peace and safety in our worlds.
Okay, good. Thank you very much for your participation and opinion.
And thank you.
One of our team members, Veronika, visited the Russian Africa Forum, where she had the opportunity to conduct the live interview with the forum participant.
So guys, we have a really great opportunity to take part in forum. I think you can see the title of this forum, and one of the participants give us interview. So I will wish you the pleasure of watching. Hello guys, today we have a really great interview. So please say your name and where you're from.
Okay, thank you so much for having me. And my name is Hassan Bandura. I'm from Sierra Leone, west part of Africa.
So maybe you could tell us some stories from your childhood, how you maybe you have different hobbies or activities during your childhood. What's really interesting for you, for your native also people, and for us?
Yeah, sure. For Africa, well, Sierra Leone is so very specific as I'm from Sierra Leone. And during our childhood, most times we don't have a lot of, it's difficult, for some people to have like that luxury to just, spend time playing around parks or doing like whatsoever you want to do. Sometimes they try to push you, like groom you, nurture you in a way to grow up as a respectable person in future. And also you don't just do things, just out of like what you want to do. Like in Russia here, for example, you have kids, going to the park and going to some places, playing around, and that's not the case, for all parts of Africa. You understand? Like, because of course, we have like places children play. You understand? But not like beautiful parks, like as you can see here. So growing up, you have like one or two challenges you go through, and but that will help you like to grow you. And as you grow, we have always like playing football, basketball, and sometimes you go to the beach, have like volleyball, like beach volleyball. So most times here we have our grandparents, telling us stories at night. You sit around some fireplace and have like listening to some stories about about past people.
Yes, about stories from your childhood. You know that in our country we have these different fairy tales which connected with princes and so on. Maybe your grandparents or your different relatives also told you some stories. Maybe you remember them, or legends about your country and so on. Could you please tell us?
Sure. For us, one of for our country is divided. We have the eastern part, the southern part, and the eastern, and we have a western area which we are in. We have our capital city. I'm from the northern part, and my grandma used to, tell me the story about a great legend. He was like the king of our area, of that area. Then, is Baibure. He used to fight the people, like these colonial people. When they come, the British people, when they want to take our people into slavery. He used to fight them. He used to fight with them. So he was so tough. Sometimes in our family we feel like we are from the Biberians. You understand? Like we have this strength. This thing in us that keeps us, fighting. We just want to be like him. Say yes, we too, we are great, and we standing for right. We don't need all these colonial things, and we keep fighting. So he was a tough man, and he was really big during his era.
So you mentioned about colonial, and how do you think it's important to remember your real story, your history of your native country, or not in real world? Now, maybe you told some stories to your friends from Russia or from different countries in order to like meeting them with your real history.
I would say with the experience I've got so far, sometimes it's difficult to explain to people your background, or like the history of your country, especially when it comes to slavery and colonial area, because I've actually been in the place back home when I actually visited the place where they used to mark people, they say slaves, to take them to, before they take them out of our country, to sell them as slaves abroad. That stuff like struck me so bad, and I felt like it's difficult sometimes to explain to people like how it feels like what these people we are going through. You understand, like the amount of pressure and pain and the torture that we're going through, you know, just to take them from their places and sending them to Europe or some other part in the world, like to take them as slaves. So sometimes it's difficult like to explain to people, like to actually tell people like what your people back then, your grandparents, you know, what they went through.
How do you feel yourself in different cultures and countries? For example, now you're Russian, and did you feel some maybe stereotypes which connected with your countries or not? And maybe you just say some truth.
No, I'll be honest. Like, honestly speaking, you know, Russia was not actually like my first choice when I was coming. When, you know, I've never actually dreamt of coming to Russia. You know, I've never like actually think of coming to Russia. But, you know, most times, you know, outside Russia, people always have these thinking about Russia, like Russia is so tough country, you know, the weather, you know, yeah, some people, you know, back then, like in a country like, they felt like if you come to Russia, you need to be wearing like newspapers before you put on jeans, like, you understand, like all those things. Like, so the thoughts that this country is tough, this country is, so at some point I feel like, okay, you know what, and I got the scholarship and it's okay, let me try this place. And so far I'll tell you, I've got like a great experience in this place. The country is beautiful, the people are good, they are cool. The moment I'm actually working at the school at promotion, so I understand what I'm saying. Yes, so this is not like an experience that someone is telling me like, I've seen good people in Russia. No, this is what I have experienced. Because when you work in school promotion, I don't know if you've called school promotion before, you have to go to people's home. You visit people's home, you understand? Whenever we have a call, I'll go to the houses and we have one of the most beautiful welcome. They welcome, oh, it's a nash, like this is ours, you understand? Like you feel welcome. You feel like, okay, this is so beautiful. Your heart will, yeah. So, and even the people I work with, you know, for my boss and all, like we just too cool. You know, we very cool and we engage. There are times, you know, you feel sick, you say, hey, I can come to work today. It's like, okay, fine, that's all right. Just go. So there is nothing like all these bad things, like the negative thoughts, the stereotypes that people are putting out here about Russia. I feel like Russia need to work on something about their media, because yes, they need to work on that. I'll advise, you know, because there are things I believe the world is using, some other parts of the world is using to put down Russia, you know, painting Russia in a negative way, telling people that Russia is this, Russia is that. And most of these people, like journalists, etc., have not actually experienced Russia. They've not come to Russia. They just sit here, people send them news and they paint like, Russia is bad. And the moment, like, the other day I was watching a comedy show, and this guy was asking people around, who are you? Where are you from? And this lady was like, I'm from Russia. And you're like, who? I was like, this is bad because the stereotype, like people, I mean, when you call Russia, most people think it's hard, it's bad and stuff, because how the media have painted it. And they've not experienced like the good things in Russia. They've not experienced like going through the metro. The place is so beautiful. The people are so beautiful. You just like this beauty everywhere. And I feel like maybe most of these people that are painting bad image for Russia, they just are a bit jealous of what Russia has in this thing. So I think it's time like the media, probably the Russian media, or maybe they have the media somewhere outside there that should tell people, like talk to people, educate people, sensitize people about Russia, like tell them that these things that you guys are receiving, no, they're not. Stop painting black and paint white, like paint a positive picture. Because most of us have experienced a lot of good things here in Russia. Russia is a very rich and a good country. So I believe experience is very good.
I'm really happy that you had such imagination of our country. And I also have the last question for you about your religion. You know that we have this православие in Russia. Which religion do you have?
I'm a Muslim.
Really?
Yeah, I'm a Muslim. I came from Islamic home, and in our country we have I think 70-80% of religions. But you know, in Russia actually it's no problem practicing your religion, you know, because even like the place we have, there's children before and all, so there is no problem for me to practice my religion. It's okay, it's beautiful.
So it's really cool. Thank you very much for your interview.
Thank you.
So guys, I think we can say goodbye and thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Our team has established international connections with representatives from Côte d'Ivoire and Ghana. We want to present them to your attention.
Hello, dear colleagues and dear viewers. Today's interview is not limited to the excellent responses of our invited student guests. Our team managed to ask a few questions from representatives of African culture. Lisa has already announced to us the countries in which our African colleagues originate. However, due to the fact that we contacted representatives of African culture online, it is worth mentioning and touching on small biographical moments that are associated with the colonial and post-colonial history of Jean Allah as well as Ali. So, our first guest is the representative of the Côte d'Ivoire. We will hear many more personal stories of Jean Allah, but let me briefly describe how this magnificent country with a rich history and culture as well is directly connected with empires. So, Jean Allah is a native French speaker, which already indicates that this colony belonged to France until August 7, 1960. However, in this country, in addition to the French language, 10 more indigenous languages are provided. It is also worth mentioning the interesting facts and that this country has a name referring to the main craft of this country, ivory mining. Another interesting fact is also related to the political world order. According to the country's constitution, only the candidate whose both parents are Ivorians by birth and not by naturalization can apply to the post of president. Thus, all people born into mixed marriages are excluded from the possible struggle for the presidency. The locals are called Ivorian, and the capital of this amazing country is Yamoussoukro. Now let's move from practice to theory and listen directly from the representative of the Ivorians to his story.
Hello everyone. My name is Ala John. I come from Côte d'Ivoire, a country in the West Africa. I especially visited Moscow and Gimos from 14 to 19 April as a part of UN model. I was a representative of India in the French committee model. As I've already mentioned, I come from Côte d'Ivoire, a country of DJ Joba, and like all good Africans, We grew up in the very family-like atmosphere with family and friends. And even as a child, my friends and I used to play football together. As I say, the country of Dubai, we love football. Also, we used to play marbles. We used to play popular games. We used to play popular games with friends in the neighborhood. We had a very happy childhood. The good old times, the good old days before social networking really took off. So we were very friendly and very often we were told funny story and myth. I don't think that we have fairy tales in Africa, but rather we have tales, we have legends, we have a myth. We have many legends and tales, such as the legend of the Lion King, which has been adapted into a film. Yeah, which has been adapted into a film, and the legend of the Queen of Ablapoku. Yes, the legend of the Queen Ablapoku, who sacrificed a child to the water spirit to save all her people. Very strange. Another famous legend in West Africa is that of Teni Banani. Teni Banani, a child who has endowed with supernatural powers from birth, and who even before taking his first step managed to dig up a baobab tree just to give his mother some shade. That's amazing. And we have many tales, very strange, but I don't think that we have fairy tales. And contrary to people belief, even in Russia, Africa is not a large country, but a continent. 4 times the size of Russia. Yeah, 4 times the size of Russia. And one thing that surprised me when I come to Russia, that's funny, but was that so many people ask me, "How, bro?" So they speak in Russian. How I got here? They asked me how I got here, and when I replied by plane, whoa, they were all shocked, and they asked me if there were in Africa any airports. I said, "Listen, we have our airport. We have airports in Africa, of course." And many people think that Africa is all jungles, forests and earth, but they don't believe us when we tell them that we have also buildings like those here in Russia. So that's right. And there's stereotype that Africans are uneducated people, don't know much and are poor. But these are false images, projects of Africa, and some people, places, they still encourage people to stare at you, unfortunately. However, however, there are some very good, open-minded people who don't dwell on prejudice, but who are very friendly to us. And before coming to Russia, some people say that Russia was a very cool country, very unfriendly, very aggressive and very racist people, and that the language was very difficult and inaccessible. But that's not true. But not all these stereotypes apply to the whole of Russia. I often dismiss some people's action as curiosity. Now I'm living in Ekaterinburg. I'm a student of international relations, regional relations, international relations, and I want to be a diplomat. That's why I chose to study Russian. That's all. That was my story. Thank you for listening to me. I hope that we'll keep in touch and we'll discuss later. Thank you and bye.
Our next hero's name is Ali, and as he will tell us in his video, the man is from Ghana. But circumstances have developed so that he had come to work in Moscow. Let's dive into the history of Ghana. So, the official language of Ghana is English, and the capital of Ghana is Accra. Ghana gained independence on March 6, 1957, and at first Ghana was called the Gold Coast, and this name was given to this place by Portuguese navigators who were the first people to set foot in the coast, and it was in 1471. Also, let's talk about languages. There are 9 languages, and they have the statutes of government support, and also there is such a language as Akan, and this language has 2 literally dialects, and the name is Twi and Fanti. And it is believed that about 80 languages there are used in the country. So yeah, let's move quickly from my speech to Ali's speech and discuss and hear what Ali can share with us.
My motherland is Ghana. Childhood, I was in school, but I did play football. My childhood, I was playing football. I like football. That is my childhood. Yes, I come Russia. Russia is a very good country. I like Russia. My country is very good, but we don't have enough of work. That is why. My history, we have many history, but my history I've known is when our first president, Commonwealth. Nowadays, it's not easy. It's not easy in Ghana. Nowadays, Ghana is hard. It's not easy. Yes, I understand my root. I'm in Ghana. This is my root because my country is very, nowadays my country is not good. I want to come to Russia. My worry is now I need to work. I need to work. Yeah, because staying in this country, you have to work. Yes, I ever meet somebody say Ghana is a good country. Yeah, we have many religions in Africa, but most is Muslim and Christian. That is the major. Now my grandparents I didn't have grandparents. All them died, unless my mother alone and my brother. If I have a lot of money, I want to build like hospital in my country. I want to build school in my country.
This is where our video comes to an end. I hope you plunged into the authentic world of Africa, got satisfied, laughed, maybe showed empathy for our heroes somewhere because someone still has a heartache for their countries. Also, on behalf of our entire team, we would like to express our gratitude to the students of Moscow Pedagogical State University who showed interest and participated in the interview. Finally, I would like, and our team would like to say that the most important thing in the world is love, friendship, and respect. Let's respect our culture as well as the culture of our brothers and sisters on the earth.